This morning we are getting started on a new project, installing another frost-free hydrant. We installed 2 of these last year. We're going to install one more this year that's going to be in the place where our greenhouse is going to be eventually. So we're getting an early morning start today because I got to go to work in a couple hours. It's not that early, it's 7 in the morning. Got a couple hours to work on this real quick before I gotta take off. We're gonna try and get down to where the pipe is and see what parts I need to buy so I can do that before I get home today. So first thing we gotta do is move a chicken coop. So this chicken coop of ours is sitting right over top of where I want this hydrant to be at. It's gonna be about right there. That is where the pipe goes under. If you look back at our last video when we installed these, we had to dig and cap off a spot on this pipe. We're just gonna get to where we put that cap on it, pull that off, hopefully, and just feed our line from there. So, had I had the foresight, I would have done it then. Didn't even think about it at the time. There was a chicken coop in the way. So, we're now gonna put a frost-free hydrant there so that we can wrap this end of our shop with a greenhouse. Put a greenhouse on this end. So when I built this chicken coop, I put it up kind of on stilts. It's about 3 foot off the ground. So the plan is to just jack the whole chicken coop up one leg at a time. We're gonna lag bolt some C-channel to it and use that as kind of a rail to put some logs underneath, and we're just gonna roll the thing. We could lift this. Pretty soon the chickens will be coming out, but right now it's probably got about 200 pounds of chickens in there, plus another 100 pounds or so of manure in the bottom that has collected. And so to save myself the time of cleaning it all out, chasing the chickens out, we're just gonna start jacking it up. Once I jack it up, they're probably gonna jump out anyway. But it shouldn't be too hard to just roll it, and that way I don't have to force the kids out here because they gotta get ready for school to help me move this. That was a little bit harder to get up there than I thought, but not too terrible. It is freezing out here. Like, literally. It's probably about 32 degrees. But I'm not used to this cold. It's been warm. We're gonna feed these cows real fast and then get back to see if we can move this thing. All right, let's see if this thing will roll. We got her moved. She's not as level or stable as she once was, but this is not her final resting place. This chicken coop is gonna be probably moved over there next spring, somewhere. That's gonna be inside the greenhouse when we get it done. So for now, we're gonna dig this fall, this project right now, we're gonna get this frost-free hydrant in, and then we're gonna put this to rest until spring. Once the ground starts to thaw, then we can pour some concrete and get some walls put up for a greenhouse. We're gonna do a little foundation around it, very similar to what is around this shop. It's not a deep foundation, it just sits kind of on top, but a footer of some sort, I'm not sure what you want to call it. Not necessarily the best option around here. Best is to go down 4 feet in the ground, but this is not 4 feet in the ground, so I'm not putting the greenhouse 4 feet in the ground. Just a little bit overkill to do that, but we're gonna start to dig. We've successfully found the pipe. It is right where I thought it would be. I thought I was right in my assumption that there's a line that comes out this way and then there's a piece that tees off and goes underneath the shop. And so the easiest thing would be to do is to follow that line back to where that tee is. We could unhook the tee right there and just hook on where that tee, where it tees out. And that way I don't have to dig underneath the shop foundation to get to the spot where we capped it off. We can just eliminate this whole piece. I'll still probably have to get me a Sawzall out here, but with that, I got to figure out where that tee is. I'm guessing, let's see here, I'm guessing the tee sits about right here, right on this edge. So I got to get back to digging over there. Just follow this line back. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long because I got to leave in like 45 minutes. A little more digging and we found not the tee but a coupler, which is just fine. I can break the line there and tie into it. So we're gonna call that good for this morning. I got to get out of here, go do some work. But this evening I will be headed to Home Depot probably to get me some parts. Now that I know that that coupler is there, I can tie into it, I'll know what parts to get. It'll be pretty simple to put together. I still got to do a little bit of digging to get it where I want it to be, so it'll fit inside that greenhouse and still be not so I can put a door in that won't hit it when I open it up. I'm back today to finish up putting this hydrant in. Everything, well, I've got most of it dug out. There's one spot behind me I'm still gonna dig out a little bit. I got all my tools and parts ready, so we should be able to wrap it up today. So first thing we gotta do is dig out this little section behind me. So this spot right about here is where we want this to come out. That way when we put our greenhouse in, the door can swing and not get close to that hydrant. So we're gonna dig out this little section here, and then we are ready to get everything installed.
I woke up feeling on top of the world, like nothing's ever gonna bring me down. This feeling got me flying high as a bird. I may never touch the ground. It may not be my birthday, but I just wanna celebrate.
Sounds like the UPS man is here. Everybody's losing their minds.
There's magic coursing throughout my veins. I don't want it to stop. I feel invincible in every way. I'ma give it all I got.
We got everything dug out. Let me show you a little bit in this hole, see if you can see it, but we got it all dug out. I already put a brick down there that we're gonna set the hydrant on top of once we get it all plumbed in to give it a little base so it doesn't want to sink down. Our soil here is wonderful clay, wonderful for digging, not always the best for growing, but when it gets really, really wet, it can get kind of mushy, so it has a possibility to sink. So I got that brick there, give it a little bit of foundation. That should keep anything from cracking in the ground. But before I can get down in there and start digging or start cutting anything, I've got to make sure the cows all have water and then turn my water line off. Took a little break to get some dinner. Our light is starting to fade pretty quick. It's like 6 o'clock. It's already gonna be dark here pretty soon. But I want to try to wrap this up real fast. So I already fit some of these pipe together. I'll show you what we did in just a minute, but we got to get down that hole. We turned the water off. We got to cut this pipe out and see if we can get it disconnected so we can connect the next one in. This should be really fast if the cutting and the disconnecting goes well. Connecting it all back together will be easy.
You broke it.
Are you sure that wasn't running water? Go open that up real fast over there. There's a lot of pressure behind this.
Pretty sure this isn't running. Okay, well, that's open, and this isn't running water at all. I did turn the water off. That's just... So you just have to wait for that to...
Yeah, but it's so much pressure. I didn't expect there to be quite so much pressure on that line. We're gonna have to let that drain for a while. The water's shut off. We've drained all the pressure off at the other hydrants. I'm not sure that pressure is just built up from all the water still in the line. I mean, it runs 200 plus feet, so there's gonna be a fair amount of water in there, but it seems like there's a lot of pressure. So we're gonna run to the store. I forgot to get some gravel. We gotta get gravel for this project, so we're gonna run to the store. We might have to continue this tomorrow morning, depending on how much light we have when we get back. So it turns out the water actually wasn't off. It was on just a crack, enough to build up some pressure. So water came out the entire time we were at the store. Not a whole ton, but enough that we're gonna try to bail some of it out. And then we're gonna have to come back to cutting this tomorrow. So we'll bail as much water as we can out, and then we'll let the rest just seep into the ground. And then tomorrow we'll come out and cut it. We should be able to get it back together really quick. Change plans. We got this thing bailed out super fast, so we're just gonna continue tonight. We'll just use a little bit of lighting. See how well we can do in the dark with some lights on. Hopefully we can get it done pretty quick tonight. It really only should take 10-15 more minutes.
That's hard.
Previously, I put this nipple onto here. This is just a street elbow. If you've got the chance, get you a hydrant elbow. They didn't have any at the hardware store, so I just grabbed a street elbow. And we put that into the end. So all we gotta do is hook our hose on there, set it in, and we're good. Is it recording still?
Yes.
Get the dirt off the front of it. As long as your lens is clean. Flatten the screwdriver.
From where?
Anywhere. I tightened down those water clamps on the pipe. Everything is set and sealed. I'm gonna go turn the water on while Caleb is bringing the gravel back here. So we're gonna put the water on, dump some gravel around the weep hole on this hydrant, and then we can start backfilling as long as it holds pressure. So we're gonna test the pressure on it, make sure it still works, and then we'll get after it. Got it all turned on. Why is my head shiny? I got the water turned on, the pressure's up, everything looks like it's working great. We'll give it a little test out here, turn a little water on, not run too much, but just make sure everything's flowing, and then we are done. Time to backfill. I'd say it's working.
Are you?
Yep,
How far?
That's probably good. We can dump it out from there.
Satisfying.
Get it back up to this high.
Everywhere?
Yeah, and then we'll stop. Stop it down for a second.
I'm not stepping on cord.
The last thing we're going to do is use this little spare piece of pipe that we cut off as a brace. We're going to put it maybe a foot down in the ground, wire it to the hydrant pipe coming up, and then we'll just get it real tight, and then when we bury that, that'll have a little bit more pressure against the dirt so that the pipe won't wiggle at all. The one in the garden gets used a lot, and so it's got a lot of wiggle to it. I'm going to dig that one back up and do the same thing, just a foot down, put a little pipe on it too another day. But this one, while we're here, we're going to put that on there so there's no wiggle to it and keep it super solid. That way, over time, nothing wears loose underground and breaks. So if we can keep it really solid up top, it'll stay solid underground and we won't ever have to dig this thing back up.